Roll call.
Mayor Gerardo Anaya,
Present.
Vice Mayor Lorena Delgadillo, Councilmember Jesus Roldan, Councilmember Luis Galindo, Councilmember Miguel Villalpando,
Present.
Councilmember Juan Castillo,
Present.
Councilmember Marta Gonzalez.
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
You. Gonna move on. Call to the public. Anybody from the public? There's none. We have two proclamations. The first one is 5.1 Building Safety Month for 2025.
Whereas Somerton is committed to recognizing that our growth and strength depends on the safety and essential role our homes, buildings, and infrastructure play, both in everyday life and when disaster strikes. And whereas our confidence is the resilience of these buildings that make up our community is achieved through the devotion of vigilant guardians, building safety and fire prevention officials, architects, engineers, builders, tradespeople, design professionals, laborers, plumbers, and others in the construction industry who work year-round to ensure the safe construction of buildings. And whereas these guardians are dedicated members of the International Code Council, a nonprofit that brings together local, state, territorial, tribal, and federal officials who are experts in the built environment to create and implement the highest quality codes and standards to protect us in the buildings where we live, learn, work, and play. And whereas these modern building codes and standards include safeguards to protect the public from hazards such as hurricanes, snowstorms, tornadoes, wildland fires, floods, and earthquakes. And whereas Building Safety Month is sponsored by the International Code Council to remind the public about the critical role of our communities, largely unknown protectors of public safety, our code officials, who assure us of safe, sustainable, and affordable buildings that are essential to our prosperity. And whereas Game On, the theme for Building Safety Month 2025, encourages all to get involved and raise awareness about building safety on a personal, local, global scale. And whereas each year in observance of Building Safety Month, people all over the world are asked to consider the commitment to improve building safety, resilience, and economic investment at home and in the community, and to acknowledge the essential service provided to all of us by local, state, tribal, territorial, and federal building safety and fire prevention departments in protecting lives and property. Now, therefore, I, Gerardo Anaya, Mayor of the City of Somerton, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2025 as Building Safety Month. Accordingly, I encourage our citizens to join us as we participate in Building Safety Month activities.
Going to invite building staff to come up.
Mr. Villalpando.
I would have worn black too.
Mess up the picture, didn't you?
Ready? We're gonna hear 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Okay, thank you.
Agárrate el memo.
I didn't get the memo.
Just have a few remarks, an observation of Building Safety Month. Mayor and Council, thank you for recognizing May 2025 as Building Safety Month. Mayor and Council, buildings are a place of human living, community, and refuge. Yet building safety is often taken for granted. It is one of the most underappreciated elements of our society. When one walks into a building, one assumes that the building is safe, structurally secure, and that you will walk away safely every single time you walk through the doors. When you flip a switch, The expectation is that the light will immediately turn on without causing a fire in the walls or at the breaker box. When one flushes a toilet, we never think about that waste again. It is carried away forever through our network of underground pipes that are never seen. When you are indoors, the temperature is always a perfect range between 68 and 78 degrees. And when disaster strikes, it is the expectation that our buildings will not collapse from earthquakes, wind, or precipitation, that they are designed to withstand such extreme stress. We have grown accustomed to such high standards of modern construction, but these high quality building standards did not happen by accident or overnight. They are the result of decades of continuous advancement of industry standards, research, and experience. It is this collective knowledge that has shaped our building codes. Our building codes are designed to ensure our buildings will be almost perfect. And it is our building safety personnel. These are the people who uphold the building code and enforce it to its full extent. They are the guardians of building safety. As you saw right now, these are the personnel of the city of Somerton who, as a team, function as a guarantor of public safety, public health, and public welfare. Their contribution to the city is important because we all occupy buildings every day. In fact, the majority of our lives will be spent inside of a building. It is why it's so important that they are the safest possible places. That's why building safety is so important. That's what Building Safety Month is all about: protecting human lives, ensuring human comfort, and improving the quality of the built environment. So tonight, the Community Development Department thanks the council for recognizing the importance of building safety and the endeavor of making Somerton a safer place. I have here a neat little photo op for council. This is a brick from the old city hall. I had this for about 2 years in my possession. It was brought over by the old building inspector. It was found leaning against the old wall back when we used to own the old city hall. The plan is that City Hall will be retrofit in the near future. It'll be a nice restaurant, retail area, and that the original brick wall on the east side will be preserved. It is our intent to have the mayor and council sign this City Hall brick tonight so that we may turn it over to the contractor who is doing the project and become a part of Somerton history forever in the walls of the old City Hall. So I'd like to pass this around for you to sign as a neat observation of Building Safety Month. And I have a Sharpie. That one. Any side where it fits. I've got Somerton City Council and the dates on this. Okay. Start with the mayor. That's it. Yes.
Come on, take out the whole brick. Man, I have a long last name.
Yeah, we still have some time before that gets put into the form. We can get the other signatures.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mayor and Council. Thank you.
The second proclamation is Municipal Clerk's Week.
Whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world. And whereas the office of the professional municipal clerk is the oldest among public servants. And whereas the Office of the Professional Municipal Clerk provides the professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies, and agencies of government at other levels. And whereas professional municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all. Whereas the professional municipal clerk serves as the information center on functions of local government and community. Whereas professional municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the professional municipal clerk through participation in education programs, seminars, workshops, and annual meetings of their state, provincial, and county and international professional organizations. Whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the office of the professional municipal clerk. Now, therefore, I, Gerardo Naya, Mayor of the City of Somerton, do recognize the week of May 4th through May 10th, 2025 as Professional Municipal Clerks Week, and further extend appreciation to our Somerton's Clerk's Office for the vital services performed and the exemplary dedication to our community.
By the clerk and the deputy clerk.
Take 1% of that.
Can I get 2 steps to the right? Thank you. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2. Thank you.
We're gonna move on to consent agenda. We have 3 items, a work session for March 18th, city council meeting for March 18th, and city council minutes for April 1st. Does any member of council want to remove an item from consent agenda? Is there a motion? So motion by Councilman Castillo. Second by Councilwoman Gonzalez, those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Gonna move on a public hearing. So motion by Councilman Castillo,
Second.
second by Councilman Villalpando, those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. On this public hearing regarding the potential use of the fiscal year 2025 CDBG Regional Account funds was held on January 22nd, 2025. Citizens' input was gathered and all application submissions were reviewed and approved. Based on the outcome of the public hearing, it was determined that the project of Phase 3 of Somerton Heights improvements to be submitted for CDBG Regional Account funding. As part of the public participation requirement for applications, the council must conduct the second public hearing on this application. In addition, the resolution for the council authorizing submission is needed and other forms applicable. The total financial impact currently budgeted is $480,000. We did get the mod, and that amount will be determined at a later date. Any questions?
Any questions from any members of the public? Any questions or comments from council? Is there a motion to close public hearing?
Thank you.
Thank you. The motion by Councilman Castillo, second by Councilman Villalpando, those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Two items of public hearing.
Yeah. There's,
So we shouldn't vote.
no, there's 2 separate public hearings. 2 separate public. Is there a motion to open a public hearing? Or motion by Councilman Castillo,
Second.
Second by Councilman Villalpando, those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Carmen Juarez, Deputy City Manager. Tonight, and due to some changes into the approval process for the fee schedule, the yearly fee schedule, I am requesting for you to continue this public hearing until May 20th. What we're gonna do a presentation right after this.
Okay. Is there a motion to close public hearing?
Make a motion to close.
So motion by Councilman Castillo,
Second.
second by Councilman Villalpando, those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. So we're gonna go to presentations. It's item 8.1, presentation regarding the intent to establish or increase municipal fees.
Good evening, Mayor, Council Member Carmen Juarez, Deputy City Manager. This is the yearly review of the citywide fees. As required by Arizona state law, any proposed changes to the current fees are required to be posted on the city's website for 60 days prior to council taking action. The notice of intention to increase municipal fees and the proposed changes were posted on our website on February 18, 2025, with the notice of the public hearing that you just closed to be scheduled for today, but we are rescheduling for May 20th. So due to the changes that we did, we have included a presentation to allow council additional time to review these fees, and the actual public hearing and motion to approve the resolution will come at the next meeting on May 20th. So if we move forward to the actual fees, this is the exact same fees as we presented in previous years. The proposal is, we have 3 columns. The column to the left is the description. The column in the middle is the current fee, and the recommendation is to your right. And the areas on the recommendation that are blank means that we don't have any proposed changes. This is by department, so we can start with the city clerk. We only have 2 changes being proposed by the clerk's office, and this is a couple of transfer, as they're not proposing any changes to the actual fee. They're only proposing these fees to be transferred to community development to be part of the actual business license process. So there's no changes on the amount. So we move to the next department, which is community development. The 2 proposed changes that we see before you are the actual transfers from the clerk's office. Now they're moving into community development department. There are no other fees being proposed on this page. No fee, no changes proposed. These are all the fees that currently the community development has. There's a couple of changes here, and under additional fees, community development department is proposing to change to actually add a new fee for changes of contractors and subcontractors. Actually, we don't have any fees for this, and the community development department is proposing a $25 fee. Also, there's a change under temporary certificate of occupancy. We don't have a fee when we issue these temporary COOs, and the community development department is proposing a fee of $100. If the mayor or council has any questions, we have the directors here ready to justify these changes.
I have a question, Mayor.
Councilwoman.
Did we just check with other municipalities with their fees, if they're charging any fees for that temporary certificate of occupancy and the change of contract?
I'll let community development director to answer that question.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Yes, the other 2 municipalities, well, 3 jurisdictions, neighboring jurisdictions have this fee as an adopted fee. Our fee is actually lower than what they charge in the neighboring cities. I believe the city of Yuma or San Luis, one of the two, has that temporary COO for $250, whereas ours would only be $100. And then the other $25 fee for change of contractor, that's mostly to cover just the clerical, the administrative process of inputting into the system, sending new notifications to the new contractor, the process. We're the only ones that don't charge these fees.
Okay, if we can keep moving, please. Okay, under Finance Department, they are not proposing any changes on their current fees. So we can move on. Fire Department, there are some changes, new fees that are being proposed under the standby fee per unit and staff and additional staff current overtime. Chief Hernandez, can you provide your justification, please?
Javier Hernandez, Fire Chief. Good evening, Mayor, council members. Currently, we don't have any fees for standby, so when we're doing the speedway, we were using the fee that was provided by the state, but that fee was only like a flat rate. The old fee was like $256. So when we did a standby, that's how much we were charging. And we were not even collecting enough for the staffing. So what I did, I went into the FEMA equipment fee schedule. And that's where I was able to get how much is it per hour for ambulance, for squad, for engine. That fee schedule changes about every 2 years. We're using 2023 scheduling. I'm assuming that in this year, they're gonna come up with the new prices. And then I just added the hourly per unit, the average of the overtime rate per EMT and paramedic. And that's how I was able to break it down per unit. So now if we ever have to, if they open the speedway again and they call us for a service, that's how much we're gonna be charging per hour. Or any other event that somebody calls and say, we wanna see if the fire engine could be available for some special event. Now we're gonna have a fee that says how much we're gonna be charging. And then the additional staff, just in case they say, we want an ambulance, but instead of having the 2 personnel, we want 2 additional staffing. So that's why I included an EMT and a CEP, which is a paramedic staff into the rate, so.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
So the next department is Parks and Recreation, and there are some changes that are being proposed under the rental. James, if you can please explain these changes. Thank you.
James Jones, Parks and Rec Director. When it comes to special events, we did not change anything. As far as the facilities, we did change a little bit. We emphasized that we raise our price for non-residents, not residents. And mainly that's the cost of the aid and the labor that is coming after the cleaning. So we raised that to come close to what we are spending as a city for non-residents who rent our buildings. That includes, we did $10 an hour or 600, or for 4 hours, that'd be $600 a day. And non-resident, class D non-resident, we went $200. That's with the community center. As you look down for games, outside entities coming in and playing their games in our community center, we raised that to $35. As I say, a game is about 2 hours. We put a recreational aid in there that at $14.70 an hour, plus that maybe that half an hour that they're over that they go over for just getting people out of the building. So we just kind of raised it to cover that cost of labor. The next page, in Cultural Center, same thing. We went up $10 per hour, and that's just to cover the non-resident fee, so we can cover our costs as a city for our non-residents. We left the resident fees alone. When we go to field rental, as you may or may not know, our fields are rented about five times a week. And that breakdown is about 75% of the rentals come out of town to use our fields. So we raised all the fields a little bit, $10. And a lot of that is because our labor costs have gone up. We want to recover some of that labor cost back. That's raking the field, mowing the field, lining the field. Well, lining the field is a different item, but mainly the big thing is we wanted to protect our residents, and so we only went up $5 per hour, while the non-residents went up $10 an hour for all fields. And we also added Paracone Park to the field rental, because that's not gonna be a rentable field in the future. And then next page. The pool. I got some, so right now, with our stats from last summer, we averaged 24 working hours with our maintenance crew a week at the pool. That'd be adding chemicals, checking the chemicals, vacuuming the pool. We also looked at the cost of the lifeguards, because we were charging the lifeguards, when we averaged the hours they worked to what we were charging, we were paying about we were collecting about $4 an hour from the lifeguard fees. So we were absorbing a huge labor cost. And then as we're opening up the pool right now, the price of chemicals for the pool has gone up $80 a week this year from last year. So the things that we did is we really just, as we talked about, we looked at we went up on labor to cover about 75% of the cost. That includes lifeguards, supervisors, and then the rental, we added that to the chemicals into that. So as you look, we got from the 50 patrons all the way up to the 150 patrons. We raised all those fees just to cover the labor and material cost. Like I said, we're still operating at probably about a 65% loss, or we're only covering about 60 to 65% of what it cost us to run a pool, to do the field maintenance, and to just kind of clean up after events. At the end of the pool, you'll see the miscellaneous fees. This is a big change. Last year, so far, we're averaging about $88 to $92 per kid per our league. So we're gonna keep the resident fee at $45. We're proposing a resident league multifamily discount. So that first kid would be $45. Two kids would be $45 plus a $40 for the second kid. Just kind of give our residents a break. And non-residents, we want to set that at $65.
It's gonna be open.
James, I have a quick question on the non-residential pool costs. You said we're only recouping about 60% of what we actually
Yeah, overall.
overall. Why not a non-residents target more or getting closer to 100%? Because quite honestly, I could see that for our residents. 60% I don't have a problem with, but for non-residents, you got to keep in mind that their contribution to probably the community is very, very little. The least that we could do is try to recoup. So I hope that you guys consider, in at least on my behalf, getting closer to recouping the actual costs.
And we could pull those numbers, Councilman, and meet and discuss that again to give you guys a more accurate number.
Yeah, you know what?
Yes, go ahead.
You know, to piggyback on. You know, in general, they were still taking it from our general, from our general fund, and it's like, you know, like probably here to be called.
Mayor, if I may.
Yes.
Mayor, council members, one of the things that I asked James to look at was the non-residential. Again, there is fees for the residentials, and you know, we want to make sure that our residents are benefiting from our facilities, and ask them to raise the non-residential. If you want to raise it more, or we can bring back that proposal, we can do that and see what you want to look at. You know, we do have, again, non-residents using our facilities, our leagues, and also tournaments and so forth. So it is a balance act, but again, if you like, if that's the direction, we can come back and present that 100% if you'd like. And if we do that, and if that goes up, then what we would do, and if Mayor and Council approve, we would have to post for another 60 days to to make that effective. And that's not a problem. We can do that. I'm just saying, I'm just letting you know the process.
Is it being used, or is it being used more by non?
So our fields are being used more by non-residents than residents. Our facilities, as far as rentals, that's about 80-20 split. So 20% is coming out of town, from out of town, and the pool is almost 90% residents.
I mean, I'm okay with it. I just wanted to kind of.
Mayor, if I may.
Councilman Villalpando.
Yeah, and I think you're right now with where you're at with the residential, I think it's okay, to be honest with you. But again, not to be redundant, but the out-of-towners, they come in because they know that our rates are lower, which means more of a workload for you, which means more staff, which means more arguments and debates. No, I'm just kidding. But no, seriously, I think they need to pay their fair share, because they're not going to go to Yuma, because Yuma is still going to be higher than we are. And so in our fields, they're in good shape. You guys have done a good job keeping them in good shape. So again, I think they just simply need to pay versus our residents. We don't want to eliminate participation, and the fields are theirs, so they should have access to it at a decent price.
So Mayor, if I may?
Yes.
Is the direction to come back then from council to, again, we can have this for you to view and provide comments. If you want to keep the residential the same or the proposed amount, but also come back with you to present what 100% of the fee would be for non-residents?
Yes,
Is that?
yes, so that's what I.
Yeah, I would want to see the fee first, myself. I think what you guys have right now is good, but for future adjustments, I think we should really consider maximizing our revenue by asking them to pay at least our costs. The
So-
out-of-towners, not residents.
So
But
we're good
non-resident.
with this fees currently. And just to let you know, Mayor and Council, these will come every year. This is not, this is a yearly thing. So what we can do at this time then is start looking at those different costs and start updating you and working on that. One of the things that we are doing next year to change the process is that we will be coming to you in, I believe it's February or March. February with the proposal so you can view. And then we'll get your feedback, and then we'll do the 60 days. Traditionally, it was done in a different manner, but we've been requested to change the process, which we have no issue, I think, so that council will be able to see this before it's posted, and this will be a different process next year that hopefully Mayor and Council will see these before, make the adjustments, then post, and then we'll come back in for approval. All right. Thank you, Mayor.
Would you like me to continue with the rest?
Yes.
Okay. As we talked about that multifamily discount to make sure that they have multiple kids, it's not killing their checkbook. We also are this year, we're gonna propose a non-resident fee for our recreational leagues. Right now, some leagues are 50-50, some leagues are 60-40, and soccer league is probably good 70% out of towners coming in. So we want to kind of make that mark and kind of have two different fees for not residents and non-residents, like always. I'm bringing you the annual swim pass. We have $60 for in residents and $80 for out of residents. Swim class 24 and 28, two different. I guess 24 is not in here. I'm sorry, we'll make that change. And then, yeah. Okay. Keep the swim cost the same, but the big thing is the boxing and wrestling. Those are our two programs that we have that we don't co-sponsor. Right now, we're not charging for them. We've been keeping track of how many residents and non-residents go to those programs. We do have some associated costs with those. We hire a boxing coach, we hire a wrestling coach, we buy equipment wears out. So we do want to recoup some of that. So we're proposing a $10 for residents and $20 for non-residents a month. And we'll manage that through Rec Desk. And then the city hosted sports camps and clinics. We want to do more of those. Right now we have the baseball academy going. It's we're looking at doing more of those. And those are a one day or a month quick camp, just to build excitement for our leagues coming up. And then co-sponsored activities. Right now we are asking $5 per participant. So this would be the Somerton Fitness Boot Camp, the Flakoric Dance, people that go to those and pay the instructors. We're asking to recoup only $5 from their fees to use our facilities to have their class. Is there any questions?
Thank you, James. Okay, the municipal court is not requesting any changes to their fees. Police department, no changes as well. And the last is public works and not proposing any changes. So this is the end of the presentation, Mayor and Council. As Louis just mentioned, this is a presentation only. At the next meeting, we're gonna come back with the actual public hearing in the resolution for approval, if this is the recommendation that is also coming from council.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you.
Thank you.
We're gonna move on to old business discussion and possible action to approve the second reading by title only of ordinance number 2025-001.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The item before you on the agenda is discussion and possible action to approve the second reading by title only of ordinance number 2025-001. An ordinance related to the rezoning case PLN25-00024, request by Vianey Vega of Vega and Vega Engineering PLC on behalf of Comité Bienestar to rezone assessor's parcel number 195-33004 from R16 to R2 with plan development overlay. Mayor and Council, at the April 15th meeting, the council approved the first reading of the ordinance, and tonight's staff is asking for the second reading of the ordinance to finalize this rezoning case.
Any questions or comments? Is there a motion to approve the second reading by title only of ordinance number 2025-001?
Make a motion to approve the second reading of ordinance number 2025.
So motion by Councilman Castillo. Is there a second? Second by Councilwoman Gonzalez. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Would you like me to read it now, Mayor?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Mayor and Council, this is ordinance number 2025-001. An ordinance of the city of Somerton amending ordinance number 2015-002 and rezoning certain areas in the city for real property described as APN 195330004, a 14.73 acre parcel more or less, and particularly described in Exhibit A attached hereto from R16 to R2 with plan development overlay.
Is there a motion to approve ordinance number 2025-001? So motion by Councilman Castillo. Second by Councilwoman Gonzalez. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
We're gonna move on to new business, discussion and possible action to approve resolution number 2025-011.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is Carmen Juarez, Deputy City Manager. And the item before you is Resolution 2025-011. This resolution is rescinding Section 3 of Resolution number 2023-017 approving the mayor, vice mayor, and members of city council enrollment in the elected official retirement plan. This resolution also allows mayor, vice mayor, and council to be eligible for city health insurance benefits as eligible city employees. If you have any questions for this.
Any questions or comments? Is there a motion? It's a motion by Councilwoman Gonzalez. Second by Councilman Castillo. Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 10.2, discussion and possible action related to resolution number 2025-012.
Mayor and Council, this is the item before you on the agenda is resolution number 2025-012. Mayor and Council, this item is to approve a resolution to allow the city to acquire a property. The property is assessor parcel number 743-40003. This is located on the southwest corner of Avenue E and what's between Jefferson and, do we have a map to show, Andrea, on here? This is where it's at. Correct. So it's between Jefferson Street and County 15th Street along Avenue E. This is where the future lift station is slated to go in, if it ever does come to be. The property owner is interested in that lift station becoming a reality because the property will be able to develop. So staff has had conversations with this property owner, Solutions Realty LLC, which is Ramon Arias. And he's agreed to dedicate this 60 by 100 tract to the city so that we may in the future construct this lift station. As part of this dedication, we're also going to be getting quite a bit of right of way on Avenue E. Could you go to the next slide, Andrea? So the resolution approves the city to acquire the tract for the lift station and the right of way along Avenue E to run the future sewer lines that will connect up to County 15 and then to the existing lift station to the west. So there is no cost to the city as part of this transaction. It's a straight dedication to the city. So tonight, staff is asking for council to approve the resolution that would allow us to acquire this property.
Any questions or comments? Is there a motion?
So moved.
A motion by Councilman Villalpando. Second by Councilman Castillo. Those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Item 10.3, discussion and possible action to approve resolution number 2025-013.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Chona Medell, Finance Director. This resolution 2025-013 is for Mayor and Council to approve authorizing the submission of the application for fiscal year 2025 State Community Development Block grant funds. The application will be submitted for project phase 3 of Somerton Heights. Anybody have any questions?
Any questions or comments? Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve resolution 2025-013.
So motion by Councilman Castillo. Second by Councilwoman Gonzalez. Those in favor? Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries. Item 10.4, discussion and possible action to approve the use of 2025 Cocoa Paw donation funds in the amount of $20,000.
Evening, Mayor and Council. James Jones, Parks and Rec Director. The item before you is approval to use the 2025 Cocoa Pod donation to finish phase one of the Paracone soccer field renovations. The Paracone soccer field renovation project was initiated and revitalized to modernize one of the community's key recreational assets. Phase one of the project included major infrastructure and amenities improvements funded through both the city general fund and Arizona Parks and Trails grant. You can go to the last page of there one. There you go. So as you see, the phase one scope of work, removal and existing drainage channel was completed all the way down to erosion control and maintenance. As you notice, our funding source ran out as we only gathered, general fund contributions of $656.34. Arizona Parks and Trail, $315,544 for a total funding source of $563,234. Total funding needed to finish phase one of the Paracone Park project, which would include planting the Bermuda grass, which is the permanent grass. It's a one-time fee. Installation of new amenities, benches, water fountain, trash cans, pet waste station, and the plaque and signage for the Paracone Park, as well as install security cameras to deter vandalism. The total cost of the project would be $583,299.98. Right now, we have a shortfall of $20,099.64. We are asking that we use the Cocoa donation of $20,000 to cover that.
Any questions or comments? Is there a motion? A motion by Councilwoman Gonzalez. Second by Councilman Castillo's in favor.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 10.5, discussion and possible action to award Maya's construction with the City Hall expansion project.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. The City of Somerton published a notice for call for bids for the City Hall expansion project on March 26, 2025. The project consists of constructing the interior partition walls and other incidental work within the existing City Hall building to improve workspace functionality and efficiency. The bid opening was held May 1st, 2025. 2 bids were received. Upon the review of the bid submittals, Maya's Construction was determined the lowest responsible bidder at $24,800. Other bids were received from ASAP at $39,800. No other companies reached out to bid. All bids were evaluated based on the compliance with the bid requirements, contractor qualifications, and proposed pricing. The total contract amount would be $24,800 and has been included in the fiscal year 25 budget. The project was originally budgeted for $65,000 in the capital improvement fund. With the remaining funds of approximately $40,200, staff plans to purchase office furniture and equipment, as well as improve security system signage for Parks and Rec Department expansion area. These additional improvements would be made through a separate procurement process in accordance to city purchasing policies. Staff recommends the approval of the City Hall expansion project number 2025/008 for the amount of $24,800 to Maya's Construction, with the remaining $40,200 to purchase office furniture, equipment, security system, and signage for the new Parks and Rec office.
Any questions or comments? Councilman Villalpando.
Thank you, Mayor. So are you asking for basically 2 purchases or 2 transactions? Because they're asking for $24,800, right, for which is the contract amount, and then pretty much $40,000 to kind of, well, you gave us a breakdown of what you're looking for, but we don't know.
So right now, we're just asking for the Maya's Construction contract so we can build the walls, build the particles, and we're asking that you earmark the other $40,200 to be purchased for the office equipment through the procurement process, getting three bids, and just it would be 4 desks and the conference table, the conference chairs, and all that. So yes, kind of, but right now,
Because you guys don't know the exact cost of the security system and signage and all that, correct?
correct. We'll probably have to come back for that
Okay.
if that's council's direction.
so why not come back when you know how much the whole entire package is gonna cost you versus doing it this route now?
If I may, counsel. We were, right now, if you feel comfortable, we really need to get the construction company to go in there
Yeah.
and build it, so we
No,
can
yeah,
kind of see
yeah.
the spacing.
I understand that portion. I meant the rest of your wish list. Until you have a solid number, wouldn't it be better to wait till then, until you find out exactly what you need as far as what type of security system, the furniture? I understand the construction portion, that's, yeah, for me, it's a go. But the other stuff, it's kind of vague on what you need and what you don't need.
Mayor, if I may, if you like, Mayor, Council, approving, if you'd like to approve this, just the 24,800 with the direction to come back to Mayor and Council with the breakdown of those other things, if you approve that.
Yeah, well, I could do that.
Okay.
I'll make the motion to approve the 24,800 for Maya's and pending the breakdown for the 40,200 on the other items.
So motion by Councilwoman Villalpando. Second by Councilwoman Gonzalez, those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Summer current events.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We have Charles Gutierrez, Public Works.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Charles Gutierrez, Public Works Director. On the Streets Division, on May 25th, excuse me, on May 25th, the Adopt a Street program entertained the Pep Tech school program with the planting of the trees. We actually went out there and dug the holes and allowed them to put some trees and some bushes out there. On the Water Division, so we have something really cool taking place in the Water Division. The supervisor has taken the lead on looking how we can make our water meter read program a little more efficient. We know that we have antennas up on top of the Joe Munoz Park over there. We also purchased some antennas and we're putting them in various locations around the city to try to cover the entire meter reading program more efficiently so that we can go from a couple, 2, 3, 4 days to 1 day and not even driving around. It'll be all automated. Thank you.
Mayor, that's all we have.
Councilwoman Gonzalez.
Just to let you know that I was reappointed for the committees with the league. Thank you, Mayor, for your letter. The first meeting for both committees will be May 28th, and I'll update everybody in the June meeting. Thank you.
Councilman Castillo. Councilman Villalpando.
Mayor, I don't have anything. Thank you.
Just the only thing, our sister city from Rosario to Sopaco was here over the weekend, and they had a meeting with just they're trying to import or export their bacanora, which they're known that region, and so they had they mentioned they had some productive meetings, and again thanks to the economic development staff for facilitating that. We have can you bring up the agenda? Yeah, we have 3 items in executive session. I lost my page. So the first one is executive session for discussion and consideration of appointment of new municipal court judge and obtain legal advice regarding the appointment process as necessary. Item number 2, an executive session for discussion and consultation for legal advice and consideration and possible instruction regarding contracts for the acquisition of real property are related to the potential purchase of real property in Cano and Columbia Avenue. And the third item is an executive session for discussion or consultation for legal advice, consideration and possible instruction regarding contracts for the acquisition of real property located between Bingham Avenue and Canal and County 17th. Is there a motion to go into executive session?
So move.
The motion by Councilman Villalpando, second by Councilman Castillo, in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. So we're gonna take a 5-minute break and then go to executive session. Councilman, so motion by Councilman
Second.
Castillo, second by Councilman Villalpando. Those in favor?
All right.
Any opposed? Motion carries. It's 8:40, meeting's adjourned.
Before you-